Good evening. Looks like we're already hitting tonight off with a couple people tuning in. That is awesome. One of my good old buddies, the original Bernardo. Welcome back. Yeah, it's been a bit. Streaming's been a bit of a struggle for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think you guys have known that. I mean, I've been trying it for a little while and trying to definitely make it successful. I mean, I would love to. I mean, talk about fun side hustles. I mean, this would be the just awesome. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 4. I've been doing a lot of things talking about Battlefield 2042 just because, well, I can't get enough of it. And yeah, I'm probably going to get disappointed. Uh, and what are you going to say? When you hype up a game so much, you're either going to love it or hate it. So I think I'm going to love it just because I want to so much. So 2042 is definitely on my huge next game playlist. What have I been playing overall? Yeah, been a lot of Battlefield 4 because I really want to get my chops back and I really want to see um, what's coming up. Bernardo, sorry to hear your phone's down. Good to see you though, man. I'm trying to get back on a schedule as best I can, but life is definitely throwing us some curveballs. We're doing all right, but life is, yeah, well, life is interesting lately. But yeah, it's good, interesting. You know, kids in activities, kids starting new school grades, all that fun stuff. It's a good kind of busy, but it's one of those where this is kind of a good time to unwind. So I like to throw out the hashtag Dad Gaming because that's really what this is. This is dads finding time just to unwind, either have a beer, play a video game, do what they can just to kind of just decompress from the freaking day. Because my lord, do we have a lot on our plates, don't we, dads? No, don't get me wrong. Everyone's got a lot on their plates out there. But, you know, honestly, just us immature people like me, you know, I was talking to my wife about it earlier. I don't mind that I'm immature. I think men are in general much more immature than women, and that's okay. I'm good with it. I'm totally okay. I don't want to be that serious all the time. I'm being a little more serious than I usually am tonight, but I do want to talk just, you know, a little bit about stuff in the video game news. The big old one of my favorites is the PlayStation Xbox battle, and yeah, and honestly, Battlefield is amazing mainly because, well, hey, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, the maps are massive. I play the big ones. And you know what, Bernardo, I get that you're not the biggest fan. It's definitely that kind of game where you can have some bad nights. And I had a few. I mean, I've had some really good. When I'm streaming, I can't even begin to tell you why I'm on. I'm downloading videos in the background right now of times I went 22-3. That's 22 kills for 3 deaths. I couldn't believe it. And we were in the top board for actually being effective and helping the team and all that. Then I did a 16-5, a 16-2, 16-1. I mean, just I can't even explain it because I am not like a tournament gamer. I'm not Battlefield 3. There it is. That's the debate. Battlefield 3 versus Battlefield 4. Good. Thanks for bringing that up, Ron. It's been out there for quite some time. It's been Battlefield 5 didn't play much either, Bernardo. Just mainly because I wasn't eager to go back to the World War II, World War One scenarios. Just not my cup of tea. I kind of like the 2042, which is more futuristic, which Battlefield has already done. There's, you know, called the Forgotten Title. There's one out there, and I played it, and it was okay. It was a lot like Battlefield 4, and that's what a lot of people think that Battlefield 2042 is going to bring. Is the best of 3 and 4. Now, I mean, their customization abilities that they've announced, the ability to really make the game your own. I'm okay with that, but I want the packaged game to be balanced. I want it to be good. And yes, they're bringing in weapons from almost every battlefield. Almost every battlefield will have weapons from it in Battlefield 5. So it will be very interesting with the type of servers and everything to get set up and paid for and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be definitely interesting. And Battlefield 3 was awesome and amazing. It was one of those where, like, Destiny 1 took a long time to get to where it was going. It just didn't quite get there for the longest time. They did update after update after update, and then when it was done, Destiny 1 was just killer. There are still people who will not let it go, even with all the success of Destiny 2. And what's really funny is that they really never learned all the lessons they learned from Destiny 1. I mean, they went and they took some of the things that everybody loved, and then they just got rid of it and started all over. No, Battlefield will never be the same as it was in the time period, Bernardo. You're right. But it will hopefully push forward. I mean, the thing I didn't like, and I'll be honest, DICE announced, not announced, so it was kind of said in passing, but we all kind of knew that was going to be their kind of thing. Is their model is going to be a new Battlefield game every 2 years. Now, one of the cool things about 3 and 4 were that they added some expansions, and expansions usually meant just more maps for multiplayer. It was never a single player game, but hey, what are you going to do? But now 2042 is coming along, and that's going to be really interesting for that. So, but talking, talking about a little bit just about today, I mean, the Xbox PlayStation battle continues. Now, PlayStation is solidly outselling Xbox. It is. But PlayStation is fighting for its exclusivity, and Sony is trying to walk that line between, hey, we want more PC players. Oh, Bernardo, you did not say that. You did not just say COD beats Battlefield. It does not. Oh, buddy, it does not. And I can tell you why. Recoil. One word. Recoil. Call of Duty. Does recoil exist? Nope. And everyone will say, yes, it does. But does it? Do you actually have to analyze the spread pattern of an actual AR to figure out whether or not you can hit someone at 50 or 100 yards? No, you don't. And honestly, Xbox this generation, that would actually be your mistake. Xbox is, I'm just, biased. I freaking love PlayStation. But I'll say this. Where PlayStation has definitely outrisen Xbox is really, come on, Bernardo. Nowadays, okay, so I played, oh shit, what's the latest COD? Whatever one's out there that is the freaking battle royale bullshit. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate everything about it. And I'm sorry, I'm always going to be a Battlefield person because I like the strategicness of a Battlefield game where, hey, I drop in, but I don't just go run hoping I stay alive for 10 seconds. I actually see, oh, we're losing this strategic area or this area, or I can grab a tank and a helicopter and do some good. That is where Battlefield will always stand apart. Plus 128 players. 128 players going to be in Battlefield. What, you got a bunch of teams running around COD? Got some zombies you want to kill? Well, no, I get the expense of it for sure. But PS5 is it. I mean, never ever buy any of the consoles from scammers. They're not worth it. You're validating their existence and the fact that they will just keep doing it. I have a friend who had his purchased for him by a family member who was just trying to do something really cool and really good for them. And he ended up saying, no, we need to send it back. And of course she couldn't. But the problem there was that he just felt like it validated the scammers. And of course it does that. I mean, there's people who have the ability to program and scrape sites and be able to order and all that. And they are just, they ruin it for everyone, but they don't care. They're after the money. And okay, they got their money. Yay. Same with the GPUs, right up until Ethereum just split. I mean, now that Ethereum split and China freaking got rid of all crypto, well, not all crypto, but the crypto mining farms, it's gone. You buy stuff on the Alibaba site for next to nothing. But yeah, so it's getting heated for sure. Xbox and PS5, the battle will always be hot. I'm always going to be a PlayStation fan, always have been ever since PlayStation 1. And of course, they've had their failures. I mean, the PlayStation 3 was not an easy system to develop for. And what they got right with the PS4 is they actually sent out development consoles long before it ever launched. And that was a huge thing. They did the same with the PS5. And they did a lot. Yeah, there's tons of scammers everywhere nowadays on Twitter and Instagram. And, honestly, there's even the... oh crap, what are they even called anymore? The data hostage takers, which take on usually high corporations, but nowadays they go after older people to get $500-600 out of them. the whole FedEx scam that Pierogi and stuff fight against every day is still very much alive. No, honestly, PlayStation 3 was not a great system. I still had one, still loved it, but it had problems, and its big one was its 9-cell, a 9-cell CPU, which was supposed to be the next just crazy range of ability, but it ended up making games ridiculously difficult, not only to develop from the ground up, but to port, which is why PlayStation 3 just did not get any ports at all. But now look at PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, they are well right on track. And I'm sorry, but the new Xbox looks like a freaking toaster. It looks like a toaster. It looks like I would put a piece of bread in it, click a button, and then I would have toast in a few minutes. I mean, it's the most unintuitive design I've ever seen. And their whole thing where they kind of made fun of PlayStation about being able to turn it on its side, and that you just turn it on its side because it's a freaking rectangle. It's a freaking rectangle. It doesn't do anything. So that's that's my feeling on the latest generation of Xbox. It's stupid. Oh, plus I will say now, okay, I have to say this, great salt. They've made strides to fix this, but when it first came out, somebody put a oh god, I wish I had the video. They put an infrared camera on the top of that Xbox, and it was really, really hot, like crazy hot. Like you don't want anything near it. Like it's venting ridiculous amounts of heat. You put that same thing up against the PlayStation 5, it's night and day. You don't hear the fan in the PlayStation 5. You don't. I mean, if you're listening really hard, you can find it, but it's nothing like the PS4. I mean, when the PS4 spun up, you're like, whoa, this thing's going to take off the space. But yeah, I mean, there will always be the console wars. But the fun part is, regardless of what team you're on, the people that actually benefit from that are you and me. We benefit from them battling. We get more intuitive things. We get more intuitive content. We get more intuitive design. I mean, yes, they all have their issues. I mean, Nintendo Switch, I mean, look at them. They've set themselves apart in the console war somehow. They've actually made a different... oh, yeah, I got a PS... I had a pre-order for the PS5 the night it launched. And I will admit that I got lucky. And I'm going to, not that anyone watches it enough, but I'm going to throw it out to IGN. They're the ones on their Twitter account that got me a PS5. I stayed up after they made the announcement and everyone screwed up. Everybody screwed up. Best Buy, GameStop, Target, they all released pre-orders way before they were supposed to be. That cluster F of a freaking release was on them, and Sony recognized it right away. The only retailer, and I don't stick up for these people, it's freaking Walmart. Walmart is the one who didn't go early. If you want to talk about all the, money-centric companies in the world, Walmart's the one that didn't go. So Sony released extra pre-orders to them way early in the morning. I got a tweet, I logged on, and I got a pre-order. So I actually got a PS5 at launch, and I feel very blessed that I did because I love it. It's right here in front of me. In fact, I'm designing a whole new desk. In fact, I'm going to try and do I want to do a whole thing about how my current setup, which is, well, I mean, it looks like a freaking rat nest of wires right now. But I actually have been building a new desk, and I'm very, very excited for it because I work from home during the day, and I want a good balance. I don't want to have to reconfigure my entire stuff every time I want to do streaming or anything like that. So, yeah, I can absolutely understand the whole taxes in different countries. I mean, I know that especially in Europe, that the consoles are taxed very, very highly. Sorry, this is a libation night. It's been a stressful few weeks, but yeah, no, that's great. And honestly, again, I'm trying to find out ways to make the stream really kind of take off a little more. Yeah, games on the PS5, the ones that are built for it, Astro's Playroom that Sony put together takes advantage of everything, of course. And then Ratchet and Clank that just came out, it takes huge advantage of all the PS5 features, and it makes that game so much cooler, so much better. Not that it needed it, because I'm a huge fan of the Ratchet and Clank. They're hilarious games. Who knew how comedic video games like that could be? But yeah, they're awesome. Oh, I'm sure those two are. I'm not much of a sports game fan. I'll tell a little story real quick about this amazing 9-year-old. I still remember the kid. I went into a GameStop. There was a Madden tournament, and this was on. This would have been on PS3s, PS3s or Xbox 360s at the time. Yeah. Anyway, he had figured something out inside of Madden in which he could literally never allow the other team to touch the ball. I'm not kidding. He could onside kick and recover it every time. It frustrated so many adults that they were throwing things and calling him a cheater and everything else. At a GameStop tournament, we're talking like maybe 15, 20 competitors. I mean, it was nothing. I was there just because I wanted to see it. And this kid is demolishing them. And they just kept throwing just terrible insults and stuff at the kid. But no one stepped in. You know why? The kid didn't. He took it all on the chin. He took it all on the chin. And then when he won the whole thing, he looked at everyone and dropped the controller. And that kid was my hero. Oh, man. No, yeah. Hey, listen, I'm starting to like football a little more, Bernardo. I really am trying to get into it, like, and understand it a little more. One, because I love the show Ted Lasso. And two, because the Olympics were just here and the American women got their ass handed to them in the first game. And then, of course, just kind of faltered from then on when they were, oh, they're going to win it all and blah, blah, blah. Just to show you that soccer is one of those true games where we say in American football, you know, any given Sunday. Any given Sunday literally means any team, regardless of the odds, regardless of what injuries, regardless of, can beat another team. It doesn't matter how stacked they are or whatever. Any given Sunday, one team can beat another. And honestly, that's true in football. I'm finding too, is any team can beat another. You could hear all the analysis, all the crap on what's going to happen in the game, and then 2, 3, 4 players on a single team just decide this game's going to go different, and it does. And yes, they sure did win the Olympics. Honestly, I thought that was going to be Canada. Just saying. Oh wait, that was Canada the one. Yeah, Canada and Sweden was the women's. Brazilian men won. You're absolutely right. Okay. It took me a second. I was like, wait a second. Canada women's won. But no, you're right. Yeah, the Brazilians won, and the Brazilians are, I mean, they're absolute naturals of soccer. I mean, as an entire country that produces just star after star in the soccer area, I mean, can you name another country besides Brazil? I mean, all of you could clump all of Europe together maybe and come up with, you know, comparison, but that's about it. Um, and yes, football does. All sports have their certain level of magic, just these moments that are undescribable. But yeah, so it's been crazy these last few weeks. I've been on, off, on, off, on, off, trying to get. I'm using Restream for the first time tonight. Obviously, it's working for Twitch. I'm really hoping it's working for the others because I'm trying to expand the base. To be honest, I really need to get this to a much larger area. I want it to be. Honestly, I would like it to be, you know, kind of just the casual gamer kind of chat. And yeah, this is kind of a test for that. It's good to see you, Bernardo. I'm only going to go for maybe about 10 more minutes, but really the things I wanted to talk about today are pretty much game centric about how Xbox and PS5 are fighting over their exclusivities. Those games that you can only get on their system. And yeah, those win some people. But as Bernardo's already mentioned here, I mean, who's going to go out and say, I'm going to buy a PS5 for this game? Because Call of Duty's everywhere, regardless of how I feel about it. And so is Battlefield. Battlefield's going to be everywhere. I mean, nothing is going to stop anyone from getting most games. Now, they may play a few frames better on one than another, and there are so many videos out there. Every time a game comes out, there's a million videos. How does it look on the Xbox versus the PS5? And to be honest, I don't care anymore. I don't. It's all about the reliability, the functionality of the system, and how the controller feels in my hand. I have actually nothing against the Xbox controller. I actually think it's really well designed. I love the PlayStations just a little bit more, but Xbox, the controllers for me are very comparable overall, but the systems themselves are quite different. And yes, I play a little bit on PC too, but I will say when I played Battlefield on PC, it took 2 matches for me to get just crazy upset with the level of cheating. And that's one thing I've talked about it so many times, but I'll say it again. 2042 is offering the ability to do crossplay between PS5 and Xbox and PC. Great. But it also gives you the ability to just turn off the PC. And that's what I'm going to do. All good, Bernardo. See you later, buddy. Anyway, yeah, so that I am going to turn that off immediately. Mainly because I just cannot stand. Yes, the anti-cheats are out there and everything else, but somebody is going to break those day one. They're going to be, shooting you in the head with a pistol from across the map, and you're never going to see it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And there you go. The game starts losing its fun. And honestly, Destiny cheaters, they got their asses handed to them a few weeks ago, and a few months ago, and a few months ago after that, and they're still fighting it. Bungie still fights them. So why do people continue to cheat? I just don't get it. And then, because I promised I would talk about this subject one more time, is why teabagging? I brought it up in a few streams when I was actually playing, but I couldn't really go into detail because I don't get the whole. I mean, okay, teabagging happened. I mean, you get somebody, you jump up, sit it up and down. Okay, all right. Now, why today? Why? You have the ability to throw something up in the chat. You have the ability to see their PlayStation ID, send them a private message. You see all of that. But the least, in whatever I've boiled it down to, is the least amount of effort it takes to do any kind of, hey, I just want to piss this guy off even more, or girl, is to teabag. And why? Why? Do we really need to be more piss? I mean, games are supposed to be releases, even in multiplayer. If you are literally throwing your controller, losing it, unless you're playing for thousands of dollars on a tournament, why? It just doesn't make sense. So teabagging should definitely be gone. It should be gone. We should come up with something new. Because I'm gonna be honest, if I saw someone kill me and then floss, I don't think I'd be that upset. I'd actually be like, at least I get to watch it. Like I don't think I'd be all that upset at all. So how do we go forward from teabagging? Because it's all, especially Battlefield. Good God, I saw it so many times. Now I will say this: it does make me super happy when they take the time to do that and they get shot while doing it. Because then I'm like, cheers, because they deserve it. They absolutely deserve being shot while teabagging. But it just doesn't make sense anymore. We have so many more creative ways to do it, which is one thing. I'm not a huge fan of Fortnite, again, just because it's not the game for me. It is strategic. It is, and there are those that. But I've watched tournament finals, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I can't do that. There are things I can do and things I can't do. Doing things as rapidly as those people do at the end, no. Being able to, strategically walk a tank up with my squad and take a point, knowing there's guys here and here, and be able to, that's my role. That's my strain, or that's my game. Because whether you do it or not, you worked as a team, and that's for the most fun for me. That's why I love Division 2 so much. Is because, yeah, they had multiplayer, but most multiplayer was cooperative. And I played it because of that. Yeah, you had dumbasses that didn't really help the team, but if you were taking on a true challenge and you actually completed it, you guys worked as a team. You had to, because Division 2 actually came up with some pretty tough stuff. And I'm saying it like it's a dead game. It's not dead, but they've gone back to re-putting out new season, and they say there's more content coming. And when it does come, I will jump back in and I will play. And Division 2 is great in the sense that if you do just pick the game back up, odds are that the meta hasn't changed too much. They do constantly change it a little bit. And that is the other thing I like about Battlefield 4 is the meta doesn't really change. And the meta is so widespread. Battlefield did do really well over all its years in finding that none of the 4 classes, all the people use the same stuff. That meta was spread. In fact, I was playing around with doing an engineer with a DMR and just playing around with the different DMRs. And I actually found one where somebody got me with it. And I go, why the hell would they use that weapon? I'm like, why would you even bother? And then I tried it out and I go, this one's time to kill is next to nothing, but its damage is the same as the others. The range, the stability is almost about the same. What makes it so special? It has half the magazine of all the others. Why would I do this? Its reload time is ridiculous, but it's time to kill. It's awesome. Didn't get it. But yeah, we need to in all games come up as something like, okay, you want to do a little victory pose, do a little victory pose. But just know, in any game, if you take the time to teabag somebody just to piss them off, you're the asshole. You really are. And if that's what you want to do in a video game, I mean, hell, I've caught my nephew talking down to people in chat, and I freaking read him the riot act. Why? Because why? Why do you feel the need to tear people down over a video game just because you happen to be better than them for that moment? They might come right back at you and embarrass the shit out of you by knifing you 16 times over. Who knows? Things are just so fluid in video games. You just can't quite put your finger on it. But honestly, I'm gonna be working real hard over the next few weeks. I really want to see this grow. I mean, more now than ever. I wanted to see it grow from the beginning. Obviously, it's been really slow going, and that's okay. I mean, I've heard from just about every other person out there that actually has managed to become a success. That it takes time and you got to be patient. I feel like I've given it time and been patient, but I'm not a patient person. So we're going to have to split the difference on that one. Is it me? Is it not me? Probably. Yes, no. Feedback, folks. I'm trying to restream this everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of it. Give me feedback. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what you hate about my face. I'm okay with it. Just give me some feedback. You'd be helping me out. Anything. Any comment, don't care. Promise, don't care. Give me any kind of comment you want, and I will take it to heart. Just because I'm really curious. I mean, I don't know how I come across to others. And honestly, I do not have the money, nor do I have the interest in paying for somebody to go watch my stuff and then give me feedback. I'd rather have you guys do it, if you could. If you're not into it, that's okay. I'd like to talk to the chat. Bernardo is hot talking to me tonight. I mean, and I love talking to those guys in Brazil. But I really do need to want to grow this channel. So I'm out there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Obviously on Twitch, YouTube, all of it. Hit me up any way you want. I really appreciate you if you've actually tuned in tonight. I'll try, as I've said before, but I'll try really to do a much more centric talk point and play some more games. But just to kind of say, I just like to interact with the chat, so it derails me a lot. I'll work on it. But anyway, hit me up on any of them. Follow me on any of them. Doesn't matter. Anything you do is much more appreciated. If you tuned in at all or you're watching this afterwards, thank you again. I'm the Beard Up Gamer, and for tonight, I am out.